morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. Greek authorities are investigating an alleged criminal network in Crete accused of illegally obtaining more than 580,000 euros in agricultural subsidies through intimidation, land seizures and fraudulent declarations. The case centers on three main suspects from the same family, two brothers aged 44 and 39 and a 43-year-old relative. Police say the network had been active since 2021 and pressured landowners and livestock breeders into handing over agricultural land, allowing the suspects to falsely appear as subsidy beneficiaries. Authorities allege that when residents refused to cooperate, the group carried out acts of retaliation and intimidation, causing extensive damage to farmland and private property. One incident under investigation involves the destruction of around 400 trees and vineyards, including 140 olive trees. In another case, suspects allegedly set fire to a farm vehicle. Investigators also allege the group submitted false livestock declarations to secure European Union subsidies. The investigation followed a major operation by Greece's organized crime unit. The two brothers appeared before an investigating magistrate and were granted additional time to testify on Friday. Comments by senior NATO officials on the Ukrainian sea drone discovered near the Greek island of Lefkada have triggered strong reactions after the alliance appeared to defend Kyiv's use of unmanned maritime systems in the war against Russia. Speaking in Brussels, NATO Military Committee Chair Admiral Giuseppe Cavodragone described such operations as a typical form of asymmetric warfare used by smaller states facing more powerful adversaries. He said that if he were in Ukraine's position, he would also try to use every available capability, while adding that questions involving sovereignty and international law remain matters for political management. At the same time, the NATO officials shifted attention toward Russia's actions in Ukraine, referring to attacks on civilian infrastructure and violations of sovereign borders. Other NATO officials also stressed that drones and artificial intelligence are rapidly transforming modern warfare, with military operations increasingly relying on software, real-time data and autonomous systems. A British tourist was killed and his teenage son seriously injured in a quad bike accident on the island of Corfu, renewing concerns over road safety and the use of rental ATVs on the island. According to the police, the crash happened when the quad bike veered off course, crossed in the opposite lane and plunged into a ditch. Firefighters rescued the father and son from the wreckage before both were transported to hospital. The 42-year-old father later died from his injuries, while the 15-year-old son remains hospitalized in critical condition. Following the crash, the mayor of North Corfu described the incident as another tragedy linked to what he called the uncontrolled circulation of dangerous vehicles on the island's roads. In a statement, the mayor warned that Corfu's road network is narrow and difficult and said that an increasing number of ATVs has raised safety concerns, especially during the tourist season. The mayor called for stricter regulations, increased inspections and stronger policing measures, saying human life, especially the lives of children, must remain the highest priority. A strong gas-like smell spread across large parts of Athens yesterday, causing concern among residents and prompting emergency responses. According to the fire service, inspections carried out throughout the day did not identify the source of the odor. The odor was first reported around noon and was detected in several areas, including Kalithea, Neasmini, Paleofaliro, Alimos, Glyfada, Piraeus, and other districts across the capital. As a precaution, authorities evacuated schools, offices, and the Paleofaliro town hall after multiple complaints from residents. Witnesses reported that the smell was intense, with at least one person reportedly feeling dizzy. Experts criticized what they described as a delayed response by authorities, saying air quality measurements and pollution analyses should have been conducted immediately. They also dismissed the possibility of a natural gas or LPG leak, suggesting instead that the smell could be linked to phytoplankton activity in the Saronic Gulf. Meteorologists said preliminary atmospheric analysis showed air masses reaching Athens had traveled from a south-southeastern maritime direction, making a marine or coastal origin possible. Commemorations marking the 107th anniversary of the genocide of the Pontic Greeks culminated in central Athens, with ceremonies held in Syntagma Square in front of the Greek parliament. Members of Pontic associations gathered wearing traditional black attire, joined by people of all ages honoring ancestors forced into exile and refugee flight during the early 20th century. The annual memorial ceremony was organized by the Pan-Pantonian Federation of Greece. One of the central moments took place outside the tomb of the unknown soldier, where Presidential Guard Evzones performed the changing of the guard wearing Pontic uniforms. The facade of the Hellenic Parliament was also illuminated with the official genocide emblem, the letter G, following a request by Pontic associations. Meanwhile, Turkey's foreign ministry issued a statement rejecting references to genocide and criticizing remarks made during the commemorations in Greece. These were the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. Thank you for watching.